Welcome to content that you've seen on every other film photography channel, except this time, nothing goes to plan. Let's not call this a how-to, let's approach it more like a experiment. For those who don't know, and those who might need a refresher, here's how the internet tells you should shoot expired film. So we're looking at adding one stop of light for every decade past expiration date. Film is a physical process. Like everything in life, it expires at some point. High-speed film degrades faster than low-speed film, and color film degrades faster than black and white film. We know that a high-speed color film that is expired 2 decades will more than likely look worse than a low-speed black and white film that's maybe been expired for 3 decades, 4 decades. Now that we have all that out the way, what is our control in the experiment? The Yashica FR1, it has a 50mm 1.7 lens on it, and ignore the winder on the body. I bought it off of eBay and didn't check and see if it came with the battery holder for it. It didn't. So now it just keeps it elevated, or it works as a base whenever I set it down. Our other control in this experiment is going to be the chemicals we use to develop it. That is the Cinestill Color Simplified CS41 chemistry kit. Seeing that I received 4 rolls of this Kodak Max 800 from my grandparents, they said it was just stored in a closet for the last 2 decades. I'm going to assume that it was stored decent. I don't know, that's why we're making this video. To bracket off an entire roll, see how we should shoot it, and then knowing that we have 3 more rolls, we can approach them and get the best results possible. Starting off with the most underwhelming shots of the roll, we have a range of ISO 800 to 200. Key notes are the fogging on ISO 800, the artifacts in the top right of ISO 200, and the way that it all balances out really well in the ISO 400. These compositions aren't the most exciting. I wouldn't say they're exciting at all, and they don't get any better after color correction. But we can see that on an overcast day, nice even lighting, ISO 400 is the way to go. Sandra, if you see this, I forgot to pack a hat, so I stole yours. Skeeter eater. I need harsh light, harsh mid light. Get this second quart right here, and then we'll look if it'll stop focusing on my arm. Goes a little bit up into the sky. Bro, don't even get me started on these. I don't know what happened. I have a guess. I'm thinking that the overexposure in harsh light is what's causing some color shifts. I don't know what happened with that light leak, but once I come to a conclusion, I'm going to stop by my local camera store and consult the oracles, because I'm sure they'll have some answer, but ISO 800 took this one. See, I had it planned today, right? I thought to myself, I'll go down to Northeast Maryland and I'll finish the roll of expired Max 800 on the lighthouse down there. I didn't check and see that the lighthouse trail is closed until next year. So we pivoted. Haven't been here since 2019. So I have really no idea what else there is to take photos of here. We're gonna have to figure it out pretty quick. Full transparency, this one was kind of a shot in the dark. No pun intended, because it was daylight out. Yet another pretty underwhelming composition, but it lends some good information showing that the ISO 800 in overcast light might edit well, but it leaves a green cast in the shadows, whereas something like the ISO 200 render accurate colors and gave a good sharpness despite the expiration. Now that I feel we have some good information on the 800 to 200 range, we're going to shoot all the way down to 50 ISO, because boy am I a sucker for some low film speed. I get a sick kick out of it, and it got a kick out of me. Please ignore the sprocket holes from poor agitation, and pay more attention to how the overexposure all the way up to ISO 50 borderline ruins the image. ISO 200 is a clear winner in this case, and I think that is going to be a good ISO to lean into on a very heavily overcasted day. I'm going to completely go against what I said about the shots of the tree trunk, and I think it is viable to be able to expose down to ISO 50, but I think it really depends on where the sun is hitting the subject, because I think these photos came out beautifully, and I think the signs of expiration in the white vignetting almost lends into the photo and gives it like a light, dreamier effect. And if we can't tell yet, I suck at editing, so we take those. Let the film do the work. In the words of the scholar, Samuel Classic Sonic the Hedgehog fan, what will you learn? What will you learn? And what did I learn? A lot, actually. A lot more than I anticipated. And that goes in hand with what I said in the beginning of the video as far as nothing going to plan. I learned that this film has lost some sensitivity, but as far as its exposure range, I don't think it needs to be narrowed down to just one number. I think that ISO 800 in bright lights and ISO 200 down to 50 in low lights render some really great images that give consistent results across the roll. I think if I were to just limit myself to the one stop of overexposure per decade, I'd end up ruining half the roll. And I think the most important information I learned that could really benefit me moving forward is that expired film requires a push of development when the results look like these negatives. And I think that also explains why so many expired film photos that you see online come out the way they do, with those green casts or any weird color shifts. It's because the film wasn't treated in the way it should have been to render the best results possible. I think I've gathered a lot of really good base information as far as exposure for these expired rolls go. So next, I would like to shoot one more normally with the exposure information I've gained, and then after that, we're going to red scale one roll, and for the last roll, we're going to film soup it in dyes that may correct any color casts that happened with expiration. Alright, I'm just about done yapping. We all know how the next couple of videos are going to go. Not exactly sure as far as release intervals will be. I really want to keep up the near infrared / infrared film series I have going, especially now that the weather is coming around. But thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. And follow my Instagram if you'd so like. I tend to post all of the best pictures from each of these videos onto there, and then some that just don't make the video cut. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Have a good one.